Yeah. Oh, yeah. Aha! Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. Welcome to HoDiGa's, and it's Saturday, the 18th of June. Oh, look at that. Look, do you see my lights flickering already?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
It is.
Oh, it was fine before. So, folks,
It was fine.
I've changed laptops. I've gone to my old, clunkier laptop. I made sure it was refreshed and everything because I think, because it's a bit more stable, he says, and then the lights start flickering. All right.
Okay, you could just have the light show over there today.
You got a disco.
Yes. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. So, oh my goodness, it's flickering again. So first of all, so of course, welcome everyone for joining us here. Everyone's popping in, and let's see who we have in on tonight's show today. I'm just going to scroll to the top. So we've got Annalie Finch, Marvel Johnson. Hello, Mamie Louise Anderson. We've got who else? Let me scroll down. Dina Donatelli, Sharon Donnelly. Oh, I've got some of your questions tonight. Judy Patterson and many more. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to swap sockets for my lighting because I'm just a little bit. All right, you see it's flickering. All right, 1 second. One.
You got special effects. Oh no, he kicked himself off. Oh my goodness.
Oh, here we go again.
This is hilarious.
He should have stayed with the light show.
Right? He wasn't having issues before until he went live, and then
It's the energy. It's the
It is the energy.
It's that connection.
Absolutely. Right?
Yeah.
That is too funny.
All connected in to the
Absolutely.
Matt likes to play with the
Yes. I mean, I know like when I've done lives before, especially if I'm doing anything with channeling, it can really mess with your technology. And there's only so much you could do. And,
exactly.
You know,
it does that. Every time I channel, it does that. I start channeling, and then all of a sudden, I look like a bad kung fu movie. And the rest of the video is just perfect.
We can hear you.
Can you hear me, guys? 1 minute. On momento. Oh my God.
Now you look like you're underwater.
I know, because this is my terrible camera. 1 minute. Here we are. Let me just go to my proper camera. Oh my God. I'm trying to stay calm. 1 minute. Right, now I'm back. And I'm going to plug in. Give me a moment here. Sorry, guys. I'm having like Uranus opposition right now.
We see a lot of teeth, but
nothing else. And I'm going to plug in to another power source. Oh my God. I can't believe this. Forgive me, guys. Forgive me. Live TV. What can I say? 1 moment. Un momento. Per favore. Right. I'm back. Okay, let's just start the show before anything else happens. Honestly, I'm having when you have Uranus opposition, a lot of energy goes through your aura. There's not much you can do about it, and it's Kundalini and all this stuff, and a lot of electricity. Anyway, without further ado, so this question, we're going to start off in the USA, and as usual, folks, the ladies have not had any idea of the questions that I'm going to ask, so they're all pretty much cold reads. So this is coming from Sharon Donnelly. So Sunday is Juneteenth in the US, which of course is tomorrow, isn't it? So commemorating the day slavery was allegedly abolished. Will white supremacist groups, etc., interfere with the celebrations around the country? Ooh, so quite a deep question, that, isn't it, to open out with? But as you know, we don't shirk the more challenging questions, and that's why we put the questions out. So thank you, Sharon, for your question there. Slightly worried that when the first card I see before I shuffle is the Tower, but let's see if it comes back. and whoever who
Okay.
is ready to go.
I am
go
ready. Okay, so my cards are interesting. I don't know if they're as optimistic as I would have liked. But of course, we're looking at the whole entire country, right? So, I mean, that's a lot to look at. So the first card is, some people may be hesitant to attend, I'm thinking. 8 of Cups. They might be a little nervous because we've had so much gun activity in the country. I'm wondering if some people are going to be like, maybe I'm going to stay home, which is kind of a shame because, you don't want to be intimidated when it comes to these things. But then I also get, as the obstacle, the Page of Swords. And, for me, this is like legal battles. This is always my card for legal battles. And so that makes me think like, there's going to be some things here and there that pop up that, the things are going to happen. In the outcome, I get the High Priestess. There are those that have secret agendas and hidden motives. And Queen of Cups, it's going to cause a lot of emotions. So that makes me feel like, there's going to be some things going. I mean, now, of course, we'll get the whole entire country, right? So I guess that's not surprising, but it's unfortunate. So be careful. Be careful if you go out tomorrow is the message, I think.
Yeah, that would make sense. Lady G, what do you have?
Well, above it, I have, kind of fragrant good news when it comes to the, the drama. The ones that want to cause all the drama. We have some whistleblowers out there, which are going to make it more difficult. We have those that are ready to wanting to put an end to it because they know so much violence has happened. And I think we have the ones that are faithful, been looking into it, and I think they're just watching on the net, getting ready for it, watching those subversive groups.
Very interesting. And we've got people coming into the chat, and someone is saying here, looking forward to this live show. Thank you guys for the support, for joining us. Oh, is there a bit of echo on my microphone? Anyway.
It sounds fine here.
Okay, good. All right, so what have I got here? So in the context of, will there be attacks or stuff like that for Juneteenth? And I just want to echo what the ladies have been saying as well. I think any public gathering at the moment, do you know what I mean? In these kind of times, it's kind of like there has just been so much and there is so much ongoing. I do think it's just general caution as well. Just hopefully once things start to settle down, but maybe in the autumn, perhaps. The card that I get here, what is it? Here we are. It is the 9 of Wands, which of course is about perseverance, after battle and stuff like that. But also as well, when it's reversed, sometimes it can even mean a sense of feeling overwhelmed. So I think in the context of if we just think in terms of gun violence and stuff like that in general in America, I think it's fair to say everyone's probably feeling pretty much quite overwhelmed, aren't they? It just seems to be one story after another. Look at the obstacle card. No explanation needed here. Look, it's the devil. Yeah, so the connotations of that are obvious. So obviously kind of all sorts of kind of scheming, mishegas and stuff like that. It may not necessarily mean something happens on the day, but there's certainly people that are thinking about it. Exactly. And I think there's just a lot of these particularly disaffected people, particularly if they really believe, that the election was stolen and all this kind of stuff. I think they're going to be kind of plotting on anything where they can feel like they can lash out. However, if we look here, everyone in a way is kind of wanting to move on from this whole kind of scenario, want to move to smoother waters, which would make sense, wouldn't it?
Right.
And we want legislation and stuff like that to be passed. But the next card I get here is the King, and that was the 6 of Swords I just mentioned. And this is the King of Wands here, which of course deals with enterprise and business and stuff like that. Funny enough, something I had my memory refreshed about again the other day, and they were saying a lot of the people that stormed the Capitol and stuff, they said a lot of them were men, in their middle-aged men, but a lot of them were business people as well. They weren't uneducated. They
Right.
were quite successful. Yeah. And King of Wands is very much a card of business, and it's a male card, and it's come reversed. So I think if it is coming from that direction, I think it might be coming more from that direction. And the card that I get is the Six of Cups. So of course, this is a card about nostalgia, wanting to go back to the past. So I think when I look at it in the all, there could be a risk, because obviously the devil showed up. But if there is a risk, it may come from older groups of men, or at least people that want to kind of go back to the past in some way. So often that card comes up, isn't it, when it comes to
the good old days.
Yeah, the good old days.
They weren't good.
Rebel flag crew. Yeah.
Indeed.
Scary.
Yeah, it is a little bit. Anything else you would like to add to that, ladies? Or before we move on to the next one?
No, all good.
No, we'll move on.
Brilliant. Okay, so that one there. So thanks so much, Sharon, for that question. And who else do we have? We've got Christopher Guala. Thank you. Electra Storm. We've got Stephanie, Margot Early, Soulfilled Life. Oh, that's quiet. That's not. Is that a new one? Soulfilled Life. Love that.
I like that.
It's nice.
That's really great. And then we've got Lucretia, who's also here as well, saying hello, everyone. So thanks, guys, for joining us this evening. All right, next. Oh, a little bit of astrological weather. Sorry. So in regards to things like incidents, shall we say, and not just in the USA, around the world, but we are going to go into, believe it or not, and even a bit more of an intensifying situation. I know, but I just have to give you guys,
Stop it. Stop it.
We can't stop the planet. Look,
I'm blaming you.
Look, if we look here, look, Mars. Yeah, Mars is going to move into Aries towards the end of June. Yeah, so things may heat up a little bit, but not just in America, around the world. And we're going to have huge travel disruption in the UK, by the way, around that time. So it can deal with flight delays and stuff like that. Sorry,
well,
folks.
we've been experiencing that. I mean, almost half of the flights I saw from like the last 24 hours was canceled. So, I mean, we're experiencing huge delays and cancellations at the airports. It's sort of like unprecedented.
Yep.
And they're expecting it's going to get worse than the 4th.
My daughter's ready to go on her honeymoon in like a week.
Oh, jeepers.
To Paris.
Oh, I love Paris.
Yeah, fingers crossed. I mean, it would be wonderful, assuming that she gets there. But just remember, Uranus is not only, shocks and surprises and stuff. It's the planet of aviation. Deals with aviation. Really does. And Rahu is what? Extremes and surprises. And then Mars comes in, conflict, and it's heating things up. We could even have some big heat waves, by the way. We might see some stonkers.
We are. Yes, we are.
Massive.
I mean, not where I am, but parts of this country, they're starting to get worried about the power grids again.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm worried about Texas.
It's hot over here. It's been, in 99, 100, 103. Yeah.
Wow.
And we're going up 20 degrees on Monday. So
wow.
I mean, we have huge leaps now, where one day it can be 30, 40 degrees lower and then just boom. And the humidity is still pushing like 100% a lot of the time. So the houses here are not built for that. Not New England.
Uranus also deals with electricity and power grids as well, believe it or not. So there is a question coming in later on about weather and stuff like that. So just be ready. But, it's my job just to give a little bit of astrological weather so we understand what we can know what to expect. Okay, so second question here is from Rebecca Mercer. I don't think it's the Rebecca Mercer. I mean, that would be interesting, We have all sorts of plans to this channel, But what she's asked is, and this is a Haiti/USA question, and I think maybe some other readers have tackled this. So in the past week, 7 Haitian Special Olympic athletes went missing in Orlando, Florida. The police can't find them. Do you see foul play? So what's the energy around them? What's going on there? I think that's the main question. Haitian. Oh.
Why does all this stuff happen in Florida? Every time you turn around.
It's always Florida.
Yeah.
And it's such a beautiful state. I love to visit there, you know. But whenever there's wild, crazy, wacky news, it's Florida.
It's Florida.
No comment. I'm here in the UK. I leave this one with the Americans.
I mean, I love going there. I really do. It's one of my favorite states, but it's interesting.
Asian athletes. What's going on with these Asian athletes? I'm very curious to see what cards you guys will have. Whoever's ready to go, just go.
I can go. My cards are a little intense. I have not looked at this situation. I have not read on this situation, so this is very cold for me.
Me too.
So I don't love that I start off with the double card.
That's not a good start.
That's not a great start, right? So if you're asking, is there foul play, and he represents the situation, I don't like that. The obstacle, 10 of Wands, you know, the card of like burden, oppression. So there's something with these 7 people. They're not feeling their best right now. They're pretty upset. This is like an emotional time. And I just asked for a clarifier on that in the obstacle position. And I got, you know, here's the king of emotions here. So why are they feeling so emotional if there wasn't foul play? You know, if they were just simply in a different hotel or something, you know? So then I get, there's a lot of like infighting. There's people arguing, and the clarifier on that, you know, I'm sorry, that's the 5 of Wands. Oh, so you too, right? And then coupled with the 5 of Swords, abuse of power, a ruthless battle. So there is something deeper going on with us, but I do get that they are alive because they're feeling all these emotions. So on the upside, they're still with us, but yeah, I think there's foul play.
Wow.
Yeah.
Lady G, what do you have?
Well, I have, you know, wanting the ship to come in, wanting to go forward, but we have judgment, you know, gone somewhere. They're somewhere. Who knows where at the moment. The foundation of it is wanting some sort of stability, but they've got to really dig deep with it. Going into it, we have a man, somebody with money, and there's going to be justice though later. But now, going forward, we got the whip. We got the really tough nonsense. We've got getting hung up, and we've got pain and sorrow. So, you know, something's going on. Somebody with money has set something up, and we'll have to see, you know, where it goes. But there will be justice. That's the good news, is there will be justice coming in for it.
Wow.
Which implies that something did happen.
Yeah, there's something not right there, definitely. Yeah. And I just want to say a quick thank you to Melanie Sharat. Thank you so much for your donation. And of course, any donations received are shared between us all. Oh, and I've just remembered one thing. I just need to do a quick shout out for Denise. Congratulations, Denise. You got your free reading from being a member of my Chalice of Light membership. So I'll be giving her free reading on Monday. So,
awesome.
So I just wanted to remember to say that. And also as well to all my clients out there. Right, look at this. So I've pulled 5 cards, and 2 of them are the same as you and Lady G. Yeah, Dianne and Lady G. So again, we're in synchronicity, but I've got a slightly different kind of twist on things here.
Hopefully it's better.
It's the message is a bit more nuanced, I would say, on my one. It's here again where it's funny, you got the King of Pentacles, isn't it? Which again was talking about money, and I've got the 10 of Pentacles. So there's something about money here, but also as well, the 10 of Pentacles is official structures as well, isn't it? It can be official structures, big money, corporate entities, that kind of thing. Yeah. They're part of they're Olympic athletes. So to be part of the Olympics, of course, is a huge structure in of itself. So there must have been, maybe they were coming to the US for some kind of funding or some kind of support, because of course Haiti has been struck by so many disasters, and I'm sure money is an issue. So maybe they were like envoys in a way. And in the obstacle position, I get the Judgment card as well. So there's just, if we just take it as simple as that, there's something going on here. There's something connected with money in the context of these athletes. And it's looking like big money as well. This could even be government money of some kind. But whatever the body is, it's something big. And of course, the Judgment card is Major Arcana. And then I get the Fool reversed. So, of course, when the Fool is the right way up, of course, this is about taking opportunities, a leap of faith. We can literally kind of turn it, on its head. So could it be that maybe they were encouraged or they were coerced or they maybe had maybe an innocent or naive expectation of a situation, and it's kind of turned out to maybe be a bit more emotional, kind of like with your cards, Dianne and Lady G. Either way, I don't think they quite expected what happened.
Oh, no.
They seem very naive to me. Like, I don't know how old they are, but their energy feels very young.
Yeah, that's
I don't know if they're physically young or just that naive.
Yeah. Because I think I'm getting the sense of innocence here. Like they just didn't like, otherwise, the Fool would have turned up this way. Either way, I then get the 5 of Wands, which is also what Dianne got. So there is obviously conflict there. So wherever they are, I mean, I get the sense that they're alive as well, because obviously there's a lot of emotion and regret going on. So if we were just getting kind of flat cards, kind of, some of the more obvious cards, it would be different. So there's some kind of squabble. It could be a squabble amongst themselves if they are still together, but it could also be a squabble about what to do with these athletes as well, because obviously people are starting to notice. And then I get another Major Arcana star, which is Arcana card, which is the Star, but the Star reversed. So when the star's the right way up, this is about blessing and renewal and things like that. So obviously they're feeling abandoned, alone. This can, when the star's reversed, it can feel a sense that the universe is not on your side. So I feel like they've maybe been tricked into something, but there's something there to do with money. Are they going to be held for ransom? But then who would?
Yeah, I'm hoping ransom. That's what I was like, because when you start thinking about all the scenarios of why they could have been taken, I'm sort of hoping ransom.
Yeah.
Because the other ones aren't,
Yeah.
I'm hoping ransom as well, and then someone pays 10 of Pentacles, pays a bit of money for them.
And that's why we're seeing the money. Because I don't want my mind to go, elsewhere, but I hope it's ransom.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. And thank you, Edie, for your donation. One of your questions is going to be up as well. Anything else to add to that, ladies, before we move on?
Somebody put in the comments, maybe they did it so they could escape Haiti, and I wasn't getting that vibe though, because my cards were a little dark, and that would actually be kind of like a happy thing, like, oh, they're moving to America, like they're getting what they want. And like when you got the Star card reversed, which is also a card for the US, and I wasn't getting that vibe.
Yeah, and there were no celebration. Like one of us would have got the 3 of Cups. Do you know
right,
what I mean?
Like they succeeded, like yay.
Yeah, one of us would have got like the 3 of Cups, but it's all, there's something there with
something dark,
money, and they've kind of been hoodwinked in a kind of.
Because mine was getting hung up in the sorrow and pain with it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
because they still do that in the ballet world, I mean, because I follow the ballet world all the time, and they still do that. It still happens to this day. They still, when they're on tour, they will defect to other countries.
Right.
I mean, Russians are still doing that. That actually never changed.
Yeah. Yeah. But there would have been something a little bit more optimistic in there, wouldn't there?
Exactly. Something more celebratory. And I was hoping that'd be the case, but no, I don't think so.
Oh, we'll have to see. Okay, so another big topic, and as usual, these kind of build as the show goes along. So this has come in from Robin E. and also Edie. And very simple question is, where and how is Navalny? Yeah? Navalny. And while the ladies are shuffling, I'll quickly get this one in. So I've, in the description below this video, I've put the link to the video I did for Navalny on the 27th of January 2021. where
Oh, wow.
I kind of read sort of like his future, and it kind of seems it's come true. It's kind of seems it's come true. But also, well, what was it going to be here? And someone's wondering if he's been moved. And apparently he has been moved to a much more difficult prison, which is apparently got endemic tuberculosis, and where the prisoners are not treated very well at all. So, Dianne, go for it.
Okay. I think my cards are actually a little bit optimistic towards the end. A little bit. So, okay, this makes sense that he was just moved. I get the Chariot. So, okay, so there was some movement. I didn't know that, but that makes perfect sense. And, you know, they moved him and kind of like stabbed him in the back. So this was not a good move for him. This was sort of like an act of betrayal. They didn't have to do this, but yet they did. However, and I always get this, you know, 9 of Wands, here he is persevering. This guy doesn't give up. He's hardy. He is strong in his convictions. I think a lot of people sent him good energy, but there is a lot of darkness surrounding this, the moon. There's a lot of things that we don't know. I think there's a lot of things that they're trying to keep out of sight. But then I'm wondering, because I pulled one more card, 7 of Swords. Here's our Russian friend. I am wondering if he's going to have down the road, I don't think it's going to happen fast because none of his cards are fast moving, but if at some point in the future, if he'll escape. You know, that's my hope.
Fingers crossed. Yeah.
Because I know it's not good conditions. So, you know.
I really hope so. Lady G, what do you have for us?
Well, above all, we have he's been moved. Start of, you know, some more difficult energy and a lot of stuff up in the air. Hootie is so afraid of this guy. So we got Mother Russia and really a difficult time coming with that. We have, of course, the slice and dice card, fearing losses, you know, hanging in with it. But we have lovers. We have people that are on his side that are trying to whistle blow and work and get a contract, trying to work out something, looking for him and to help him to move forward in a better way. But yeah, it's just Putin is so afraid of this guy.
Just someone posting about Juneteenth there. Yes, he is. In this video as well, I talk a lot about the archetypes of Navalny as the hero archetype. Kind of, because remember, he willingly went back to Russia. But I personally believed that he should never have returned. And I'm a little bit critical in the video because I was like, Navalny, what were you doing? You were in the perfect position because he was away and he was able to throw his
wife was angry. She was angry with him. Yeah, that he did that.
Yeah,
and I don't blame her. That's her husband.
Exactly. So I look in at the hero archetype as well, and part of the shadow of the hero archetype can actually be the unnecessary sacrifice. Like, I'm going to go back, I'm going to be the hero, I'm going to be the martyr, and everything is going to change the second I touch foot on homeland. And yes, they may lock me up, but everything's going to change forever. And I said, and I predicted, Putinshka, who I referred to as the Black Widow as well, I said, he will not be pleased with that, because the second you're in his web, as we've seen. So
but you know what though, maybe I'm seeing him get out because Putin isn't going to be there forever.
Indeed,
there'll be a point where something happens and he's just not going to be in power anymore.
Yeah, and I'm hoping one comes before the other. Yeah, because the cards are quite interesting ones. So here I've got the 4 of Pentacles. And in a way, this can represent Navalny and Putin at the same time. This is Navalny trying to hold on to his resources, his strength, keep himself together. But this can also represent Putinshka's grip on Navalny, not wanting to let him go. Do you know what I mean? He's this kind of peculiar prize that that Putin has. Putin could destroy him, but then if he does destroy him, could there be some different consequences? Or maybe because things in Ukraine have gone so far now, does it matter anymore? But I think this is definitely Putin almost holding on to this kind of asset, and Navalny trying to hold on to himself, and survive. Obstacle position, and that was the Four of Pentacles, by the way. Four of Pentacles. Obstacle position, I've got the Two of Swords. So again, difficulties. This is very difficult for Navalny, of course, because he has been moved to a much more difficult prison. I won't go into all the details of what they do to the inmates there, but it's really unpleasant stuff, apparently. So he's also potentially facing disease as well because of TB and stuff like that. And he's in two minds. But again, I have this feeling, such is the heroic nature of Navalny, I think the guards as well will also be in two minds because he is a hero.
Yeah. Right.
So do you remember in the story in Snow White? Forgive me, guys, I'm having a little tangent. Surprise, surprise. And do you remember the bit where the Wicked Queen is like, I want Snow White killed. I want to have her heart taken out. And do you remember the woodcutter comes along and he goes to kill Snow White and he can't quite do it. I think this is why Navalny was moved, because the guards in his previous prison were obviously, they respected him, loved him in some kind of way. And he's thinking, if I move him to a really nasty prison, they'll do my dirty work for me. But I'm not sure. I think there's something about the virtue of Navalny that might, win through. Obviously, this is very emotional for him. The Ace of Cups, reversed, so he's feeling dreadful about the situation, probably really regretting going back to Russia. And he's going to have to intensely juggle things. Yeah, intensely juggle things, balance it out, the choppy seas and waters behind. And then we have the Queen of Swords here in reverse. So again, his mind is going to be running and running, but Putin's mind is running as well. And his mind is vicious and cruel, because when the Queen of Swords is reversed, it can talk about viciousness and cruelty. So again, this is kind of Putinshka kind of coming through here. So anything else to add to that, ladies? Oh, okay, we're doing well. God, we're kind of like ripping through today. I'm just like, well, mind you, we do have a few questions left. Okay, so who else do we have in the house? We've got Tommy A, we've got Azealia, Arn747, Patricia Franzino. Who else do we have? Julie Patterson, I may have read already. Lots of private conversations, lots of people saying hello to everyone. Pilots on the news. Oh, here we are. Look at this. So Rennie V saying pilots on the news.
Yeah.
Worker
shortage. We don't have enough.
Yeah. Pilots say they are exhausted. So remember, Uranus is aviation. So let's talk a bit more about that travel, because I think this could get really choppy. I think this could get really choppy. And when Mars comes in with Uranus and Rahu, that really could upset the apple cart, and we could see some change in the situation in Ukraine as well. But it's going to be unpredictable and volatile. But they shouldn't have sacked so many people. That's what they did.
Right.
They just, they were kind of a bit brutal. Anyway, so next question here. Very simple one. What's the future of Ginni Thomas? Will she be held accountable? Oh my God.
Gosh, I hope so. She certainly doesn't act it, though, does she?
I need to come up with I normally come up with my nicknames, don't I? I need to come up with a name for this woman, because she is just something else. Ginni Thomas. Apparently, she used to be part of a cult. Did you know that?
Oh, jeez, no.
Yeah.
Not a surprise.
Back in the 80s. I think it was back in the 80s.
Lovely.
She used to be part of a cult, apparently. So, stuff going on there. All right, Ginni Thomas. And we've got almost 900 of you here with us as well. So
wow.
Thank you guys for joining us. It's pretty good. Ginni Thomas. My God. Isn't it amazing what this whole Jan 6th thing is kind of revealing again in lurid detail? My gosh. Okay, Ginni Thomas. What's going on?
Her cards are certainly interesting.
Mm.
They're really mixed. So here she is, the Two of Wands, figuring out what to do. So that tells me that there's more going on behind the scenes that we don't know, because why else would she be coming up with plans and strategies and trying to figure things out, like where should I go next, what should I do next? Her optical Seven of Wands, she is not going to get the support that she thinks she's going to get. That, maybe she's going to be abandoned as she goes through her battles. And I do see a battle. Here is the King of Swords. And for me, this is very much a legal card. He's holding the sword of justice, the sword of truth. So she actually could be facing some consequences. The clarifier on it is the devil, which is also one of my cards for the GOP. So I don't think she's going to have an easy time. And I think we're probably going to be hearing more about her. I think she's acting very confident, but I think the Two of Wands came up because she knows something's going to happen down the road. That's what I think. Good heavens.
You just have to laugh, because so obviously she's such a crook. You can feel the energy, isn't it? She's like,
she belonged to a cult.
Exactly. She's like, I need to do a little bit of scheming here. I need to do a little, literally the devil card just turning. Sorry, I just have to laugh when I just saw the cards. Sorry, Lady G, what do you have for us?
Well, first thing out, she's done a lot of things by moonlight, kind of, a little dark behind the scenes. When it comes to moving things forward, we've got her in the LSD cards here today. So, just saying. So there she is with her money and thinking that she's all that, and a bag of chips. But we have underneath of it, we have things are going to be coming to light, and that is going to be really major, difficult time for her. With this stuff, she's kind of rolling the dice with things and thinking that the things she's trying to hide, but things are moving forward. But the challenge is, we don't feel it's moving fast enough. And she's been in this for a long time. I think it has to do with that, too. Behind the scenes, she's been manipulating the stuff for a long time. Yeah.
Yep.
Adding her spices, yeah.
Exactly. She's just putting her input in there wherever she could. But I think, these are like my funeral. We've got ones that are the happy news, and then this is like the funeral. We're in it for the long thing. And so I think she's not going to have as much influence coming up pretty soon, because too much light is going to be shed on this. And so we'll have to watch it, get the popcorn.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, definitely get the popcorn. I mean, these characters, even though we knew that this kind of stuff would happen, and we have to see as well what the energy of Bharani will be. As you know, I'm talking about the section in Aries, which is about consequences. We've been dealing with, female reproductive system, but it's also about breaking new ground, but it's also about consequences. Have you noticed how this Jan 6, all of a sudden, all the ducks seem to be lining up in the row, and everyone's kind of confessing now in a way that they didn't before. Let's see what we have in the comments as well. Any comments here about Ginni Thomas? What's this? Oh gosh, no. In fact, I'm not even going to.
Somebody said she was in LifeSpring.
Yeah, which was some kind of cult or something like that. I forget.
Like wasn't the women submissive to their husbands or something with that one? Was it one of those?
Yeah, I don't remember
I wasn't a member.
Particulars of it.
Well, I did a video.
Many,
It's I was so many.
Now, don't have an abundance of cults.
I did a video on Clarence Thomas, her husband, and I looked at Ginni via his D9 chart, his Navamsha chart, and you could just see her energy was so strong there. Really, really.
They're very tied. There's a connection between the two of them. Like you can see it energetically. There's there really is a bond, like almost like a karmic bond, I think, between the two of them.
Much.
They're very loyal to each other.
Yeah, very much. And you can see when you look at his chart and you look at his D9 chart, which is often referred to as the chart of marriage, but it's also Dharma, her influence is massive in that. So again, if anyone, I'll have to drop that into a link as well, or people can just look up Clarence Thomas, and then you can see where I'd speak about Ginni there and her maybe kind of coming to court. But the cards that I've got for her here is the look, 10 of Wands reversed. So there is an element where it could be that the pressure gets so much, you may actually begin to start wondering if it was worth it at all. Yeah. Because here, this is like persevering, maybe kind of, well, actually, this guy is actually carrying the wands quite efficiently, actually, in this card here. But in this case here, this can be feeling like completely burdened and oppressed and just like, oh, God. So it could be that the wheels really do come off for her. Particularly, the Judgment card comes up again, but this time reversed. And they say when the Judgment card comes up, so if it's this way, it can be a positive judgment in your favor or fair trial or something like that. They say when it's reversed, you get the book thrown at you. Yeah. So literally, she's going to get the, you know, potentially flung right at her head. Why? And then when we look here, she's got the card that comes up is the Queen of Wands. And what's very important to understand with this card represents a woman or a person who is good at arranging things, gatherings, parties, occasions,
insurrections.
Exactly, insurrections, perhaps for entertainment purposes only, you know. But literally, this is what this card can mean. So here she is sitting there. This is the person who does the invites, all of the organizing, and then sits on her chair and overlooks the party as it unfolds, or some other kind of incident that unfolds. And also as well, what does she get? She gets the Six of Pentacles, but reversed. So when the card is the right way up, it speaks about what? Charity, generosity. When it's reversed, it can speak of what? Corruption.
Yeah.
She was doing what? Potentially. Whose money was she putting into people's hands? As we can see, a little bit blurry. So we see this arranging card, and then we see money changing hands card. And then the outcome that she's got is the Chariot, but it's reversed. So what this says is, you know, we've just gone over 1,000. Thank you guys for joining us. Thanks so much. So, okay, we know things may not happen as quickly as we would like. I think in a way they almost want to put Ginni Thomas on a, you know, like a frog being boiled in a pot. She's in the pot, but the temperature's quite low at the moment. And I think it's going to gradually turn up. Do you know what I mean? And also as well, this could be an element where maybe her own plans have been derailed or slowed in some way. She said she wants to talk to the committee. We'll have to see. But it may take longer than people think. But I think when it comes, it's kind of like not great.
Yeah.
Shall we see what Shakespeare has to say?
Yes,
absolutely.
All right. So who wants to be the one to tell me when to stop? I'll decide. Lady G or Dianne? Who wants to call?
I'll do it.
All right, here we go. All right, I'm going to do something. Let's flick here. All right, tell me when to stop, and I will
stop.
Oh, all right. Let's see. Oh, this is interesting. Let's see. There's neither honesty, manhood. Not good fellowship in thee. And that's come from Henry IV, part 1. And I'll read the other page. Are you like the painting of a sorrow, a face without a heart? Ooh.
Ooh.
And that's from Hamlet. Ooh. Very interesting. Very interesting. And I find it quite interesting that it says not good fellowship in thee. Yeah. And fellowship is about what? Gathering people together and all of that kind of stuff, but maybe not for good intentions. So as usual, the bard is very good when it comes to describing these rather unsavory characters.
I looked up Lifespring real quick, and it said it's kind of between Est and Scientology.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. Very we'll have to see.
I'm in no rush to join.
Exactly. There's so much going on. All right, so ready for the next question? Yeah.
Someone did mention that, this is why SCOTUS needs a code of ethics. And I just want to acknowledge, like, yes, right? I mean, who knew that the highest court in the land didn't have a code of ethics?
Yeah.
Who knew that? I mean,
that's crazy.
This is why we need to make some changes.
Exactly.
I mean, like, it's just ridiculous. It's just absolutely ridiculous. So what's this here? Taking Russia. Anyway, let's go on. So here, will there be a major weather event in Texas or the states on the Bay of Mexico or the Gulf of Mexico?
Okay.
So basically, let's look and see if there's now. We've kind of been hinting at this before, and a lot of people, of course, have been asking about Beto versus Abbott. Now, I did the energy of the charts for the day, and for Abbott, it was looking like an uphill struggle. However, I have a feeling that if nature intervenes, that could help Beto, but it's going to take something huge. So let's just read on that general question. So, will there be a major weather event in Texas or the states on the Bay of Mexico? Gulf of Mexico, sorry. Say Gulf.
Okay. I think my cards are pretty clear. Not much to read into this. First card is the 8 of Cups. So that would imply to me people leaving, people having to evacuate, people fleeing, people being displaced, that sort of thing. And look at the obstacle is the Temperance card, the card of balance and harmony. She is right there in between the water with the land. And so that talks about nature too. And so, she has one foot on the rock, one foot in the water. So the balance of things is going to be the obstacle. And once again, we get another card of people trying to get to smoother waters. So that does make me feel like, okay, there's going to be a reason to evacuate, followed by the Death card. So,
oh man,
I think they're in for a tough time. I think, if you live in that area, I would have a bag packed. I would have stuff ready to take your pets. Because I am seeing a lot of weather for Texas, unfortunately.
And water is going to be a theme.
And water's a theme.
Year
and
anyway.
The heat. Like, the water and the heat and the grid. I worry about the grid.
Yeah. Things getting frazzled in a way. Lady G, what do you have?
Well, above it all, we have the clouds coming in. New energy starting up across America. It's really going to affect America. When it comes to underneath the world, they're going to have maybe a little bit better news overall. But going into it, we're going to have to be defending, looking at what you got, judgment, use good judgment, and we're going to have government things are going to have to step in. Okay. So wanting to put an end to it, we have some things from the White House trying to make something better happen. So there, I think government's going to try to talk to them. But when it comes to Texas,
right?
It's not easy.
Yeah.
It's not
Good
easy.
luck with that.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's a tricky one. My cards, they're quite subtle. They're quite subtle. So, but here the card that I've got here is the Hierophant to kind of signify also major, major arcana. But again, speaks what of government? Yeah, government rules, regulations, and stuff like that. So there could be some scenario where the government, or could this be some aspect of the governance in Texas, is going to have to step up and step in some kind of way? I get the Queen of Wands again, but look, this time reversed. So again, when this card is reversed, it can talk of sort of a kind of sabotage in a way. Like, if I can't have it, you can't have it type thing. And when I interpret that with this card coming with the government, could this be speaking a little bit about Abbott and some of the people within the Texas government who kind of like, yeah, well, you know, we've kind of got things sewn up here. There could be something that happens where that relationship could be exposed, where they might be seen as callous in some kind of way, or spiteful in some kind of way, or maybe not acting in good faith in some kind of way. Here, look at that. I get 4 of Wands as well. Is this the White House? Yeah, wanting to maybe kind of, hey guys, we want to help you out. We want to help you out with some thingy bob relief fund and stuff like that. And, you know, here we are, because as we know, you know, Biden, you know, is very generous in that way, isn't it? When there were those tornadoes that ripped through back in the winter, he really did make a big show of like coming in and wanting to help the people. But it could be that they refuse.
Oh, Lord.
Look, they could refuse. The government could come in to help. There we are. 4 of Wands. And they may refuse. Yeah, the opposite of victory. And why? And that was the 6 of Wands reversed. And then we've got here for clandestine reasons. I don't know what's going on in that place, but there's too much machinations, don't you think? There's so much under the surface. And thank you, Jean Nizawalski, for your donation. I don't know where it's. If something comes to Texas, I don't think they're going to necessarily handle it well, because the government is not going to want to reciprocate with any assistance that they get because it's coming from Biden or the state. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit. That's the sense I get.
It's an ugly plot by the Democrats. You know, it's to help.
Yeah. It's just
how crazy they are.
It's just remarkable.
But that could also help Beto win too.
Exactly.
You know, there could be a reason behind it. You know, that could be the catalyst, the push that gets him, you know, into the governorship.
Yeah, could well be. And we'll have to see. We'll have to see how the season progresses. But when I looked at it, obviously, and Abbott is still ahead anyway, even with everything that's happened, it will be some kind of natural event, or maybe with the Uranus thing, electricity. Uranus represents electricity, power grids. Mars is heat. Rahu can expand and blow things up. Does the power grid just kind of blow due to overheating?
Yeah.
Or something like that? That's what that would suggest to me. Yeah, something like that. Okay, so last question. So we've got about 8 minutes left. I think we can squeeze it in.
Okay.
And everyone wants to know, what's the energy around Putin now?
Oof.
What's going on with him? And while you're shuffling, I'll say a few more hellos. Oh yes, so here are light vocation pilots and staff rules that are out sick with COVID-19. So there's that. Let's see. There's been mental issues. So Linda Kingsley saying, Becca says she has mental issues. Clarence is very sick too. Lots of fights with paying lawyers. Oh, very interesting. Okay. What's the energy around Putin now? What do you have for us, Dianne?
So he's a bit of a hot mess. So, you know, here he is, the Hierophant. I think that's probably just kind of like how he sees himself, someone who's very official and that sort of thing.
Peace of the Greats, yeah.
Right, exactly. So I think that's just part of his delusion. But look at what his obstacle is. You know, he's in for this tower moment, and I don't think any of us are surprised. You know, it's not going to end well for him. We all know that he's sick to begin with, right? He's not healthy. He's not a healthy man. And he's making some really poor decisions, and he's driving his country into the ground, which is going to make a lot of people turn on him. You know, they're not going to look at him fondly after this. He is going to keep working hard at it, though. 8 of Pentacles. Here he is. He's still working. He's still going to keep on going. But ultimately, he loses, you know, and he ends up with grief and sorrow and regret. And, you know, so it's going to come to it. I know everybody wants it to end like yesterday, and I agree, but it is going to come to an end. All of this, with Ukraine, it's not going to last forever. He is sick, and I think those around him are not enjoying what he's doing. He is driving Russia into the ground, and he's not getting the support that he thought that he was going to have.
Yeah. A lot of betray cards came up for him. I remember when I did one reading on him, and I think he was expecting a lot more allies to come forward, and everyone was kind of like, I don't think so. Lady
Exactly.
G, for us.
Well, he's in the midst of the maze. He's not finding his way through there so much because we have, we're looking at the exchange, what he's giving, and the people are looking at this. It's very emotional for them because they're losing a lot. So when it comes to Putin at the bottom, the foundation is the death card, the end of the drama, because going into it, we have judgment. People are not happy. A mountain is being there that he cannot climb. And the challenge is government. They're reassessing everything. And he's just batshit, batshit crazy, and everything is there, and they're just going, what are we going to do with this? So yeah, I think the government, the people that are close to him are looking to want to oust him.
That seemed very clear in your spread there as well, particularly as the I'm trying to remember which one came up in the second, the obstacle position. It was the was it the Six of Pentacles? I can't remember, but you can just see, like, just looking at your cards, it's like he's there now. Unfortunately for Ukraine, we've seen Russia has made some kind of like progress in terms of in the Donbass sort of like area. But it's interesting how it's panned out, because when we did some predictions before, do you remember I was saying something will come to an end in the sense of he stopped focusing on the Ukraine, and then I said he'll go down to focus on the Donbass, which of course has proved to be a bit more effective for him. But if we look at the cards here now, what I find so interesting is quite often, now, even though the cards have masculine and feminine archetypes, they can still apply equally to men or women. And I find quite often, it's often the feminine energy cards that come out for Putin, in the sense of he's still quite non-direct. Do you know what I mean? How often has the Empress card come up? Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like discussing Putin. Obviously, that can mean America as well, but it comes up so often for him. So
what you're saying when I feel that, I feel like that catty energy and, manipulating everything behind the scenes, setting other people up and doing that whole thing. Yeah.
Because you know what? In public, he said Peter the Great. Do you remember? No, I was teasing him, and I said one day he's going to say he's like Peter the Great, but really I think it's Catherine the Great, and he probably dresses up, as her, behind closed doors, because that feminine energy comes through a lot for Putin, because he does prefer to do his work behind the scenes. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't like to show his hand. He's not like a Dr. Roach who is like just all out there, fire. He's far more circumspect. Also, as well, his fondness for poison as well, which is the classic feminine art, isn't it? Which is poison, which is just one of these things. So for me, this Queen of Pentacles is Putinshka, But look at the obstacle position. Surprise, surprise, look. Seven of Cups, illusions and delusions. Yeah, he is still kind of, he believes he can pull this off. He believes that he can bring that old Mother Russia back. He believes he can reconstruct it all and be thanked. He believes that he can take Estonia back and anyone that used to belong under the broad skirt of Mother Russia. Yeah. But look at the next card that comes here. Seven of Swords. Again, whenever we discuss Russia, the Seven of Swords come out. So he's trying to get away with something, not only with his own people, but also as well in the world. Queen of Wands comes back, but look, it's reversed. So again, there's that kind of spiteful energy, that scheming energy, the energy of sabotage. It's almost like now he almost doesn't even care. He doesn't care at all about building up Ukraine. He just wants to what? Destroy it. It's almost like, you can't have it. If I can't have Ukraine, no one will. And I'm just going to just raise it to the ground and turn it into an ashtray. It's almost that kind of energy. But look at the outcome. He doesn't like the options that are left on the table. He may even be forced into some kind of peace agreement or settlement because, you know, he's not liking the options there. He knows that he cannot, if he doesn't come with a win, he's finished. Yeah, we know that he is finished. So interesting energies for Patinsky. So we have one last read from Shakespeare, and then we've got to end the show. We've reached the hour. So Lady G, tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Oh. Okay, this is what I've got here. This is what the bard has to say. I do hate thee worse than the promise breaker, which is from Coriolanus. Oh, it's so interesting. It's got the same again on the other page. You are not worth the dust which the rude wind blows in your face.
Wow. Ouch.
Wow. It's so interesting that it's come back. You are not worth the dust which the rude wind blows in your face. And I think in many ways that really sums up what Putin is about. So everyone, thank you so much, guys. The hour has flown by. As usual, it goes by so quickly. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today.
Yes.
So over 1,000 of you. Wonderful. Almost 1,100 in the end. And thank you to Azealia, Marie Henson, Dee, Shakti, Janelle, and so many more. Very active in the chat. Ladies, anything to say before we close? Or
No, all good. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you for coming. Absolutely. It's a beautiful Saturday night, so thank you for being with us.
Yeah, we really, really appreciate it. So again, we will be back next week, of course, answering your questions. Thank you for the questions. I think we had some very interesting cards tonight, didn't we? Real interesting mixes there, interesting fortunes coming up for everyone. So we will see you next week. Thanks so much again. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you would like to like or subscribe to Diane's channel or Lady G, again, their details are in the description in the video below. And of course, I do consultations and all that jazz. All right. So thank you, everyone. And we will see you next week. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.